There are millions of fungi in our ecosystem, and most are beneficial to us, but not all. As our environment changes, scientists are keeping a constant eye open for new fungi that don't have our best interest at heart. Thanks for coming by. Please remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Once again, thank you, and now let's get started. 4 fungi to be careful of. According to scientists, the threat posed by fungi is growing and might become much more severe in a world that is getting warmer, wetter, and sicker. Fungal spores are constantly present around us. When we first created beds in the savannah 500,000 years ago, long before we ever underwent the evolution into modern humans, we have coexisted with them. Yet since many spores have the potential to be dangerous, we've had to modify our fine immune system to protect against them, according to Dr. Matthew Fisher, a medical professor at Imperial College London's Department of Public Health, whose work focuses on newly discovered harmful fungus. Fungus are only looking for food sources, and to many saprotropic fungi, humans are just food, he continued. An organism is said to be saprophytic if it feeds on decomposed organic debris. Many millions of fungi are beneficial to the ecosystem, but only a small number of them can make people sick. Scientists are constantly discovering new fungus, 4 were discovered only last year. Nevertheless, not all of them are dangerous to people. Just 300 of the estimated 4 million different fungus species have been recognized by scientists as human pathogens capable of causing illness. The Microbiology Society estimates that more than 1 billion individuals worldwide have superficial fungal infections each year. Thrush, which manifests as white lesions on the tongue or inner cheek, athlete's foot, a scaly rash that may itch or sting. One of these superficial fungal infections is a major contributor to dandruff. They are annoying, but thankfully there are still treatments for them. Certain infections have the potential to be extremely dangerous or even fatal. According to the Microbiology Society, around 1.5 million people worldwide pass away from them each year, with few, if any, effective therapies available. The World Health Organization stated that fungal infections pose a serious danger to public health last year, and issued its priority list of the 19 varieties that the globe should be on the lookout for the first time. The pathogenic yeast Cryptococcus neoformans, which dwells in the soil, is one of the 4 species on WHO's list of the most critical species. The majority of people who inhale fungal cells do not become ill. Nevertheless, it can harm the lungs and extend to the blood and neurological system in those with immune system suppression. This fungus has developed a resistance to several medications over time. Conjugadoris is another, a yeast that may persist on objects and medical equipment and easily transfer from one person to another. It has resulted in an increasing number of hospital outbreaks around the world, posing an even greater concern during the COVID-19 epidemic. According to the CDC, this may be partly a result of modifications to standard infection control procedures. Internal organs, the heart, the brain, the eyes, and the bones are all susceptible to infection. Additionally, it urges increased funding for these infection study, treatment, and diagnostic procedures. Echinocandins, a kind of antifungal medication, can be used to treat it sometimes even if it is resistant to numerous antifungal therapy classes. People with compromised immune systems may get lung illness from the ubiquitous mold, Aspergillus fumigatus. Also, it can result in allergic responses or lung infections that could get bad and spread to other organs. According to the WHO, it has demonstrated rising antifungal resistance as a result of the extensive use of azole fungicides to stop its spread in crops. Candida albicans, a different yeast that normally makes up a healthy human microbiome, is the 4th pathogen. It is found in the skin, intestines, and mouth. The bacteria in your body keep it in control, but if the balance is awry, the yeast will overgrow and cause a thrush infection, diaper rash, vaginal yeast infection, or other ailment. It has the potential to develop into a serious infection that affects the bones, eyes, blood, heart and the central nervous system. There are no vaccinations available for any of the 4 serious fungi diseases. Generally speaking, according to Fisher, our systems do a very good job of warding off fungal infections, but chinks open up in our immune system. Then we could suffer deadly effects, he added. Those who have underlying illnesses like HIV, cancer, or diabetes are particularly vulnerable to developing a major fungal infection. And those whose immune systems are weak due to old age, illness, or medication usage. Others are more susceptible to the more serious effects of fungi infections because they lack access to the drugs that are more widely used in the West. For instance, studies show that since persons with HIV in sub-Saharan Africa lack access to medicines, cryptococcal meningitis is a major cause of mortality for such individuals. What's new is that there are more exposed individuals who have those high-risk indicators. We have aging populations, we used a lot of chemicals in the environment, driving fungus to adapt, and antimicrobial resistance is degrading our therapeutic antifungals, Fisher added. Dr. Matthew Casson, a mycologist at West Virginia University, noted that there have been more opportunistic fungal infections during the COVID-19 outbreak, much as there had been following flu epidemics. Viruses have a method of stifling the immune response in this way. Yet some of the medications we use to fight viruses are also having the unintended consequence of making it simpler for fungus to penetrate, the doctor added. In India, a black fungus caused thousands of deaths in 2021, and COVID-19 sufferers accounted for 85% of those fatalities. According to Fisher, other fungus, like Conjugadoris, also seem to emerge out of nowhere and are fairly silently spreading over the world, generating silent pandemics. In addition, the fungal infection epidemic has been made worse. WHO advises nations to strengthen their surveillance and diagnostic capabilities for fungi. Additionally, it urges increased funding for these infections study, treatment, and diagnostic procedures. According to the WHO, less than 1.5% of funding for infectious disease research is now allocated to fungi. Since mammals and fungus are each other's closest relatives, it is challenging to produce antifungal therapies, according to Dr. Matt Nelson of Chicago's Field Museum. We have a lot of biological similarities, so we need to be careful that we're not also killing ourselves while we're trying to kill off the fungus, he added. Maintaining a robust immune system is one of the greatest ways to protect yourself against fungus infections. In order to expose kids to a wide variety of fungus and help them build a strong immune system, Fisher urges parents to let them play outside frequently. Homes should also have good ventilation and be dry. The release of the film Jaws contributed to an upsurge in shark hunting. In actuality, sharks were on the verge of extinction due to overfishing. Millions of fungi are beneficial, as Casson notes. They may be utilized in food and human medicine, and they decompose wood. Fungal infections are a big worry, and I believe they will only become worse until we begin to take them seriously. The links between the way we manage human illness, how we manage wildlife disease, and how we manage agriculture. They are all related, he added. I believe that the sooner we grasp it, the sooner we can develop solutions that benefit everyone concerned.